Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my June marked as to read video. So I actually only have 10 books to talk to you guys about in this video that I marked as to read in the month of June. I don't know what it is. Last month was pretty small as well, and it's currently the 7th of July, and I haven't marked a single book as to read so far in July. So I don't know, I'm going through like a to read slump, if that's even a thing. But that is okay, because my to read list is ginormous, and I don't need to just be willy-nilly marking books as to read, because I do mark books as to read that I plan to read one day in the future, who knows when. So let's jump straight in and talk about the 10 books that I did mark as to read in the month of June. So the first book I marked as to read in the month of June was Dead Girls by Abigail Tartland. This is one that I heard about over at Missy from Binge Reader's channel on one of her most anticipated reads videos. I believe this one was published in May. I'm going to read you guys the synopsis because it sounds very interesting. It says, when her best friend Billy is found murdered, 11-year-old Thera, fearless and forthright, considers it her duty to find the killer. Aided by a Ouija board, Billy's ghost, and the spirits of 4 other dead girls, she's determined to succeed. The trouble with Thera, though, is that she doesn't always know when to stop, and sometimes there's a fine line between doing the right thing and doing something very, very bad indeed. That sounds super interesting. I believe it's an adult thriller, but it's obviously following an 11-year-old, so that's interesting in and of itself. But I'm also very interested in the fact that she's investigating her best friend's death. I'm interested that it involves a Ouija board. I'm interested that it involves 4 other dead girls. And I'm interested in the fact that there's a fine line between doing the right thing and doing very, very wrong things. I'm interested in everything about it. So I'm excited to read it, and I did mark it as to read. Next, I have a book that I heard about on the Goodreads blog post about books hitting shelves in the next 7 days. That is Lying in Wait by Liz Nugent. And once again, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to read you the synopsis because I don't think I can properly explain what this is about. It says here, on the surface, Lydia Fitzsimmons has the perfect life. Wife of a respected, successful judge, mother to a beloved son, mistress of a beautiful house in Dublin. That beautiful house, however, holds a secret. And when Lydia's son Lawrence discovers its secret, wheels are set in motion that lead to an increasingly claustrophobic and devastatingly dark climax. So that sounds very, very interesting. And there's also a little tagline here that says, my husband did not mean to kill Annie Doyle, but the lying tramp deserved it. So I don't know if this is about a son finding out that his father's a murderer and his mum knows about it and doesn't care, and there's just a family of murderers. I don't really know, but it sounds very, very intriguing. And I have another book by Liz Nugent, I believe, Unraveling Oliver, I think it is, that I've also marked as to read in the past, and that one gets huge praise, so I'm just very, very intrigued about this book. Next, I have another book that I heard about on a Goodreads blog post. This one was about the unputdownable thrillers of 2018. This one is called The Glass Forest by Cynthia Swanson. Swanson? Yes, Cynthia Swanson. This one is a historical thriller. I think it's set in the 60s, and it's about a woman who's 21, and she's married and has a young baby, when they receive a call one day to say that her husband's brother has committed suicide and his wife has gone missing. So they go to be supportive of their teenage niece, but then the teenage niece is a bit strange and she doesn't really want much support. And then I think it's about the main character just trying to unravel the family secrets that kind of go on. It sounds very intriguing, and the fact that it was on, I'm very interested in historical thrillers. I think that always adds a really fun element. And I don't think I've read too much set in the 60s either, so it just sounds like it'll be fun, interesting mystery thriller. Next, I actually have a graphic novel. This is called Heavy Vinyl. It's by Carly Usdin, and Nina Vacueva. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. This one I heard about over at Ashley from Bookish Realms channel. This is a YA LGBT graphic novel, and it's about a girl who works in a record store. And she discovers that all her group of female co-workers are members of a secret fight club that, quote, take on the patriarchy and fight crime. That sounds so great. And I believe that Ashley said it has, I'm not sure if she just said it has 90s pop culture references or if it's set in the 90s. Either way, I'm totally happy because the 90s is my childhood, so this one just sounds really, really great. Next, I have Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. Now, this one I've actually been recommended by 2 separate people on Goodreads, and then when I marked it as to read on Goodreads, someone else commented on that status and was like, oh, I love this book. So apparently a lot of people are loving it. It does also have like a 4.18, I think it was, rating on Goodreads, so it's got pretty positive reviews. It's a new adult paranormal romance that's about a siren, and she owes some kind of favors, like favors of some kind, to someone called the Bargainer. And I believe he starts to call in on these favors. And I think maybe I think that's where the romance element is between the two of them, I think. I'm not really sure. But then it also has to do with that there's all these fae warriors in this world that are like going missing. And it's got the mystery element of that as well. I don't know. It does sound pretty intriguing. And like I said, it's getting pretty positive reviews apparently on Goodreads. So I've never heard anyone talk about it on BookTube, but I'm interested. Next, I have 2 books that I heard about over from Dylan at Dylan the Reader 5. The first of those is called I Have the Right To, a high school survivor's story of sexual assault, justice, and hope by Chessie Prout. I believe, so this one is a memoir. It's about a girl who, what does it say here? She was at a prestigious boarding school when a senior boy sexually assaulted her as part of a ritualized game of conquest. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds disgusting. Chessie bravely reported her assault to the police and testified against her attacker in court. Good for her. And then it says, then in this face of unfathomable backlash from her once trusted school community, she shed her, I'm always struggle with this word, anonymity, to help other survivors find their voice. So this just sounds really, really interesting. It's obviously about a teenage girl who was sexually assaulted and has come forward, you know, to speak out about the victim blaming and all that type of stuff that goes on. It just sounds like something that'd be right up my alley, and I'm very interested in reading it. And the other book that Dylan talked about is Permanent Ink by Avon Gale. This one is an adult male-male romance. I've never read any adult male-male romance. I've only read YA, so I'm interested to read something a bit more adult. And it's, I believe, a romance between an older, like someone who's like in their early 20s and then someone who's a bit older, and it's set in a tattoo shop. I don't know too much about it apart from that, but like I said, I'm very interested to read some more adult male-male romance and to kind of move away from the YA genre. Not that there's anything wrong with the YA genre, because I love me some YA. Next, we have a book that's been getting a bit of buzz on BookTube, and I know that Kath from over at Kath Elizabeth Reads really loved it. This is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This one I'm interested in because it's an adult romance chick lit book. I'm interested in it because the main character has autism, which we do not see a lot of anywhere in any kind of spectrum of fiction books, so I'm very, very interested in it for that reason. It follows her, and she doesn't have much experience, like romantically, sexually, that type of thing, and so she hires a male escort to basically teach her about all things kissing and sex and that type of thing, you know, romance, sex, everything. I just sound very, very interesting. It's been getting fairly positive reviews. Like I said, it's got an autistic main character, so I'm very interested to read that one. Next, I have a book that was recommended to me on Goodreads by Mel from over at That Girl Bookworm. This one is Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. Now, I don't think Mel has actually read this book, but she just obviously heard about it somewhere and thought it was something that I would enjoy. And then when I looked at it after Mel recommended it to me, I also saw that Lisa from over at Books and Smiles gave it 5 stars, so there was another recommendation. So this one is an adult thriller, and it follows 3 best friends, one who was murdered, one who is in jail, and one who's trying to find out the truth. So I think basically that there was these 3 best friends in high school. One of them went missing, and she'd been missing for like 15 years, and then her body is discovered, and it's discovered that she was killed by like a known serial killer. But this serial killer went to high school with them and was one of the other girls in the best friend group's boyfriend, and that the girlfriend, like the one who was with him, knew about the murder, and so she's gone to jail because she knew about it. And then, yeah, it's about the remaining friend trying to like find out the truth and find out all the secrets and what's gone on. I don't know, that sounds very intriguing. Like someone who was dated a serial killer in high school and knew that he murdered her friend and didn't say anything, and she's in jail, and you've got a friend who's murdered, a friend who's trying to find out the truth. I am here for that synopsis. And the final book that I marked as to read in the month of June has been getting huge buzz on BookTube, and that is Far From the Tree by Robin Bentway. Now, I have heard a lot of buzz about this, and I've just been frankly not that interested, and I don't know why. It's just one of those books that I hear about and go, I just don't know that I'm going to like that. But then most recently, I think, I've heard everyone basically who I follow, but Lindsay was talking about it on her channel and she loved it, like everybody loves it. And I had commented and said, I just don't know what it is, but I don't think I'm going to love this book. And she had responded and said that, she thinks that I would like it. And so, Lindsay, I've marked it as to read, and eventually I'm going to give it a go. So this one is a YA contemporary. It's about 3 teenagers who are all siblings, but they have only recently discovered that they're siblings. So 2 of them were adopted and 1 of them was raised in the foster care system. And I think when one of them herself has fallen pregnant and ends up giving her baby up for adoption, she like reconnects, finds the siblings, like they didn't know that each other existed, and through whatever circumstances they find out that they're all related, and so they all reconnect. Like I said, I literally don't think I've heard anyone give this less than 5 stars that I've heard talk about it on BookTube, so it's getting huge buzz. So surely I would like it because everybody else does. So eventually one day I'll pick that book up. So those are the 10 books that I marked as to read on Goodreads in the month of June. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, if you're interested in any of these books, or any books that you've been getting really excited about that you've been marking as to read on Goodreads, because like I said, my numbers have been a little low the last couple of months. So feel free to hit me with your recommendations because I love clicking that to read button. So please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. But that is all I have for this video today. Bye guys!